If you're anything like me, choosing where to go for your next meal can be a complicated task. I don't know what I want. Why don't you just recommend some places to me and I will go there. Sometimes when I get to the restaurant, I just ask the waitress, what should I have? And I'm gonna help you out in this video. I'm gonna tell you where you should go if you're looking for dinner, if you're looking for lunch, if you're looking for breakfast, or you're just trying to grab a cup of coffee somewhere. Stay tuned until the end because I'm also going to share with you 2 places that you can go and grab a drink in Roseville that you might not know about. So buckle in because this video is about where to go to eat in Roseville. And I'm gonna start with a big list. Now in Roseville, there are a ton of dining options, so it's really tough for me to narrow down exactly where you should go. Now I'm gonna give you all of them and then I'm gonna go deep on the one that I think is really cool for a dinner option in Roseville. There's a long list, but some of the restaurants that make it to my short list are Sienna, The Place, La Provence, El Fornaio, Kitchen 747, Rose Park Bistro, which is a new one within the Fountains, Hawks, which is technically not Roseville, that's Granite Bay. We've got Tang's for sushi. We've got Flame and Fire Brazilian Steakhouse. We've got Fork, that one's in Lincoln, cheating as well. We've got La Popular, Eureka, Lazy Dog, Zocalo, Makuni, Paul Martin's, Fats, Bamboo Chinese, and a long list of others, but my current favorite on the list is Q1227 in Roseville. Now this is one of the more unique restaurants in Roseville. It's not a big chain, and on most days, Chef Q is there on site preparing the meals for the guests. Now Q1227 is named after Chef Q. His birthday happens to be on 12/27, which is the reason for the name. And the guy has a pretty impressive resume when it comes to the people that he's cooked for. In fact, when you're in the restaurant and you walk down the hallway, you'll see pictures with him with all of these celebrities. Bill Clinton, I saw a picture of Matt Damon, several celebrities that he has cooked for, and it's just really kind of cool to have a little slice of that here in Roseville. Now the type of food they served here is technically considered modern Southern Comfort Cuisine. It's high quality Southern comfort food. Now, some of their signature dishes include beef Wellington, chicken fried lobster bites. My favorite are the pork belly bites and a variety of either seafood or steak type options. You do have to book reservations ahead of time because it fills up fast. There's quite a long wait list, but generally speaking, you can get into Q1227 as long as you have a couple of weeks notice. And in terms of like how much does it cost, guests can expect to pay around $75 to $100 per guest, assuming you have a drink and a really nice meal. All right, when it comes to grabbing a bite to eat for lunch in Roseville, there's a lot of good options, and a lot of the restaurants that I mentioned for dinner are also serving lunch, but there's a few more that are specific to lunch. So I'm gonna do my best to tell you about the ones that I might choose when it comes to going to lunch in Roseville. We've got Guys for Lunch, which was one of my go-to spots. We've got Jack's Urban Eats. We've got Roundhouse Deli. We've got Nick's Tacos, we've got Eureka, we've got Lazy Dog, we've got Zocalo, we've got Makuni's in the Fountains, we've got Monk Cellars, we've also got Kitchen 747 for lunch, and we've got Garden of Eden here in Roseville. That's a great place to drop in if you just want a wrap or a salad or something quick. Now, one of my personal favorites on the list is Roundhouse Deli. Now, Roundhouse has a bit of nostalgia for me. When you go in, it's total old school, feels kind of like a hole in the wall lunch spot. It's basically a lunch counter. You order a sandwich or a taco. We'll touch on that in just a second. And either grab your spot to go or sit out on like the picnic tables or one of the small tables within the restaurant. When you're in the restaurant, you can see pictures of all the people that have visited Roundhouse Deli over the years. And I'm personally fond of it because you'll see pictures of like city employees and council members and people that have just come in through Roseville, train people that worked at the railroad station. And because there's pictures of city employees and that was a common stop for them on their lunch break, there's a couple pictures of my dad up in there, which I really like. So when you go into Roundhouse Deli, it used to be that they would only serve tri-tip tacos out there. They would smoke the tri-tip up and serve these delicious tacos, and they used to only do it on Thursdays. Currently, times have changed. I don't know how long this is going to last, but last time I was in there, they were serving tri-tip tacos every single day of the week. So if you're new to Roseville or if you're just in town visiting, you want to experience some kind of old school Roseville roots, great food, quick and easy food, then go into Roundhouse Deli, order up some tri-tip tacos. You will not be disappointed. You know it, it's time for breakfast. Breakfast is a sacred event in our household. We love cooking breakfast at home, but at least a couple of times a month, we want to get out and experience the feeling of just being served a nice, hearty breakfast. And in this video, I'm going to break down at least a handful of ones that we go to on the regular. We've got Susie's Country Cafe, we've got Waffle Barn, we've got Brookfields, we've got Four Sisters, and we've got Early Toast, plus a bunch of others to choose from. But I'm going to talk to you today about the two that we frequent most often. One is Waffle Barn. Happens to be in one of my favorite neighborhoods in Roseville and in the neighborhood that I live in, which is Highland Reserve. Now I'm going to go into the two that our family frequents most often, and that first one up is Waffle Barn. Waffle Barn is located in part of Central Roseville, just on the edge of Central and West Roseville, near the Highland Reserve neighborhood, which is why we love it, because that's the neighborhood that we live in. And it's known for their family-friendly environment, family-owned environment. It looks like a barn sort of decor in there. There's a bunch of tchotchkes and barn animals up on the wall and little figurines and stuff like that. But they have these amazing, light, fluffy waffles. Our kids love them. I love them on a cheat day, and it's a great spot. Second up is Four Sisters, and Four Sisters is no secret by any means. It's a very popular spot. A lot of people know about Four Sisters, and you gotta get there early or late because there's quite a line right around breakfast time. Interestingly enough, some of the sisters from Four Sisters came from Waffle Barn, and they started their own thing, just Four Sisters together. They make some phenomenal food. They have a great Eggs Benedict, breakfast burrito, and really a bunch of other options that are fantastic to choose from. If you aren't looking for a hearty breakfast and you're just looking to maybe grab like some pastries and a coffee, then you can go to one of the many coffee shops here in Roseville. Now, I'm not gonna get into the Starbucks and the Pete's coffee because there are several of those around, which are obviously great choices if you're looking to have a cup of coffee, but I'm gonna talk to you about the local homebrew style cafes here in Roseville. Here are the top 5 little cafes that you can visit here in Roseville, starting with my longtime favorite, Shady Coffee and Tea. Then we've got Fourscore, then we've got Bloom, then we've got Mojo's and Fig Tree. Now I know I'm missing one or two, but let's face it, 5 is a great number to choose from. Now I'd like to go deeper, but I've already done a video on Shady Coffee and Tea, so you can go check out that video at some point in time. But the second one that I really like is Fourscore Coffee, and that's become an increasingly popular spot. It's a large enough venue to where you can get in there, you can order a cup of coffee, there's plenty of tables so you can get some work done. They've got a wide variety of pastries to choose from. And the lesser known fact about Fourscore is there is actually a secret speakeasy attached to the coffee shop. Now you can't access it through the coffee shop, but it is owned by the same folks in the same building. You just have to know the secret way to get to it. But I'll touch on that in just a little bit. For now, let's focus on the coffee. You can get a lot of your staple coffee drinks there. You've got the lattes, cappuccinos, mochas, just drip coffee, teas of course, and my new favorite is the Chagachino, which is a mushroom blend cappuccino that you can also add espresso to, but it's pretty fantastic, and it's kind of the new craze, mushroom over coffee beans. Not sure what you feel about that, but I like it. It's actually kind of cool. Now let's talk about where you want to go if you want to grab a drink here in Roseville. There are a couple of spots that I would personally go to, one of them being La Provence's Wine Bar. I like to go drop in there, grab a glass of wine. It's in a quiet little pocket of West Roseville. It's a nice French restaurant. I mentioned it in my restaurant list, but it also has a nice wine bar attached to it, and they serve some good wines there. Second up would be Danello's in Roseville. That's on Vernon Street in downtown Roseville, and that is a speakeasy. It's a speakeasy / restaurant owned by the same owners of Place, which I mentioned earlier. Now, in order to get in there, you're going to have to know the secret passcode. However, you don't have to know the passcode just to walk into the front door, which happens to be a candy shop. You can walk into this candy shop, you can look around, you can even buy your own candy and leave, but that would be a shame if you don't tell them the secret passcode and get into the speakeasy where you can enjoy the craziest, wildest looking cocktails that you've ever seen. There's even this one that comes out with a contraption. It's like a boiler and it looks like a science experiment. It's a really cool place to go. Now the second one I touched on earlier is attached to Fourscore, and that's called House Divided. And that one, in order to get in, you also have to know the secret passcode. You have to sign up and subscribe to their list. But man, that feels like a speakeasy. You walk down an alley to get to it. You knock on a door that just looks like the side of a building. You tell them the secret passcode, and they let you in and serve you these fine crafted cocktails with hand-carved ice cubes carved out of a big block. They chisel away at it and craft your cube and serve up these delicious drinks. So it's a bit of an exclusive list. If you're just in town in Roseville, it might not exactly work out unless you know a local, or you reach out to me and I can get you on the list. But it's definitely something worth trying if you're into having an adult beverage and relaxing in a unique environment. Hey, I can go on and on with all sorts of different restaurants that you should visit. My specialty is more in the lifestyle of Roseville and housing. I'm not a food critic by any means, but I'm curious to know if you've tried any of these restaurants and how you feel about them, or if you're planning on making a visit and you need to choose in between one or the other, why don't you just reach out to me in the comments? I'd love to chat all things Roseville, and I'd be happy to talk to you as well. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.